everyone, so this is my review of Code Black Season 2, Episode 6, called Hero Complex. And basically what this episode is about is Malaya has to work with and convey to this poor innocent college girl that she had just been raped and badly beaten, like the night before. And while that's going on, there is some conflict between Campbell and Willis about a patient who wants to die, and them having to be able to finally make that final decision with her and have her understand what's all going on with that. And this was a really great episode that managed to show so much emotion and just so great at having everything truly be how it would be in every moment of this episode. And with the girl who had been raped, they did such a good job at showing the aftermath of how it all would go down at a hospital with a victim, and just showing every part of it, and just the music and the camera angles and everything around those scenes were so good at showing the emotion that the victim was going through, and making it so even for the smallest amount you could kind of understand what she was going through. And I just enjoy that so much because it was so good with the way they did it. And then the twist at the end of with all the other people involved with this rape case, the twist of who is a victim and who isn't and all this stuff, I was not expecting. But then as they were revealing the clues and stuff, going back now, if I were to watch the episode, I could easily see that stuff so much more. Because it was very subtle, but it made so much sense once everything was revealed. And then having Malaya as her doctor for the rape victim, I thought was a really great idea, because they do have that bit of a connection that neither of them really want to admit, but it's still there, and they are able to be there to sort of support each other. And I thought that was a really great idea to have and show in this episode. And then the comedian who needed surgery, I thought was such a great idea to have in this episode, because all his moments were a lot more lighthearted and stuff like this, to really kind of have a bit of light and somewhat of fun within all the deep and kind of dark stuff that was going on with all all the other people in this episode. I don't want to call them victims because they're not all victims, but they are people. So it just was good to have that comedian there to have a bit of fun in this episode, along with all the other sad and dark stuff. And I thought that was a great idea to have in this episode, because otherwise this would have been such a sad and depressing episode. And I am so happy that Mike is finally awake and sort of back in with everything. And I was expecting, when I saw the fall, when Mike first hit the ground and stuff and went into the coma and all that, I was definitely expecting, with how he fell, that probably he'd have problems with his legs when he woke up, and he did. But they managed to fix that all up and stuff like that, and really had these great sort of connection moments between Angus and his father, all revolving around Mike sort of getting better, which I thought was great to have. And then the girl who wanted to die, I thought was such a great story, and the way that they did it was fairly interesting, where the girl was more than willing to die, and she understood everything around it and just wanted it to be done so that she could do whatever next, because she knew that if she didn't, then slowly as time went on, she'd be slowly losing herself to her disease. It was just more of the problem in this episode is that everyone else around her, her mother and Campbell, didn't want to let her go. So she was more than willing to go, but everyone else didn't want to let her go, I guess is the best way to put it, and I already said it kind of. And everything in this with Campbell did in fact bug me, for the fact that he's not wanting to let this patient who is more than willing to die, he doesn't want to kill them, but he is more than willing to go down to the ER and dictate who lives and who dies, and punish those who choose not to listen when he makes that verdict of who lives and who dies. He's more than willing to do that, but when a patient wants to die, he won't let him go. That bugged me a lot. But I do have to say that the ending sort of scene with the girl and her mother was so sweet and great. And I do kind of wish that Campbell could have been there to say goodbye too. And sort of that I thought was such a great moment, and just overall this was a really great episode that definitely was a favorite of mine. So yeah, that's my review of Code Black Season 2, Episode 6, called Hero Complex. So yeah, bye!